Hi friends! Here we are with another installment of my Let's Play of Cinderella Phenomenon. Last time we started down Rumple's path, and I'm interested to see if there's any substance behind all of his flirty words. So, let's get crackin'. I do not know why the first person that popped into my head was Rumple, because you're into him. Just because he puts a smile on ladies' faces with his flirting does not mean he can help me do a good deed. Well, that's true. And yet, here I am. I find Rumple on break, surrounded by a few giggling ladies. His hands make dramatic sweeping gestures as he showers them with compliments. And you, my sweet, are like sunshine peeking through the clouds on a dark day. You litter the ground with so much golden light and make every flower reach out toward your warmth. On second thought, maybe I should reconsider. Princess. Rumple notices me, however, and immediately waves me over. No, I'm not gonna make it easy for you. I just remembered I have something to do. I turn around and start walking away, but am immediately stopped when I feel Rumple's hand on my shoulder. Oh, see? To make it, gotta play hard to get. Oh, I slap his hand away. Fierce, as always. You remind me of a rose with thorns, princess. He leans closer and winks at me. Ooh, look at that little sparkle. But the thorns are what make the rose so alluring. Oh, are you always so persistent? Or do you actually want me to slap you again? Your slapping me is but a small blockade in the road. I will never give up on you, princess. Okay, now I know what he's into. Does he enjoy it when I purposefully try to ignore him? Yeah, he does. The most sparkling gems are buried deep within the ground and take much effort to unearth. Okay, so he's into, working for it. What? Princess, you are like one of those gems. Oh! Look at that, I made a right choice. No, I am not like a gem. Rumple, why would you deal with someone like her? What? Apryl is like a budding flower, and I want to do my best to help her bloom in whatever way that I can. Aww! You've come to ask me for advice, right? How did he know? The look of shock on your face is adorable and so absolutely satisfying. It seems I hit the nail on the head. Rumple, she's obviously too stubborn to admit that she needs your help. These women are infuriating. Oh! Rumple leans a little closer to me and suddenly he's whispering in my ear. Let me tell you something, princess. Making a person happy just to see them smile is definitely a good deed. Huh? Making someone feel important is never a disservice. What do you think? I'm pretty knowledgeable, aren't I? All he ever talks about is doting on people, flirting with them, and making them smile. Rumple continues talking, which is why I will make an excellent partner. Oh! I take a step back. Rumple is now looking at me with a triumphant smile. How did you... I am very perceptive, princess. You overheard my conversation with Parfait? She told me about it. She... did? Only briefly. So you're not perceptive at all? Ugh. Princess, you cannot see it, but I am drowning in my own tears. Okay. He just assumed I was going to be partners with him, which is very annoying. I do not even know why I was considering partnering up with Rumple when he says the same things over and over again. And I do not think I could be around him day in and out. Oh my, what do I spot here? Oh, Delora! Come and get me, you sasstastic queen! Delora appears before us, a sly smile on her face. Slacking off, you two. I am on a break. That break ended about 5 minutes ago, Rumple. And Princess, I think there's a broom that needs attending. Fine. There's no use complaining, and I would rather get away from Rumple. Rumple turns to the ladies and smiles. My lovely ladies, I will be back later, and I promise that we will continue our conversation without any interruptions. Oh, and Princess, we'll continue our conversation later as well. I walk off before Rumple can try to shower more of his compliments onto me. Making a person happy just to see them smile. Can such a thing really be considered a good deed? The days at the tavern go by quickly over the next week. Princess? Princess? You've been staring off into space. I was just thinking about Rumple. I just finished Mr. Broom, and now I'm helping a niece sort some of the shelves in the back. Rumple has taken up the serving for today. The women always enjoy him, but the men are always glaring at him. I wonder why. They're jealous of Rumple, I think. Who? The other men. Anise looks over at the men that are glaring at Rumple as he drifts between tables. I'm worried about Rumple, too. What are you worried about? You were looking at Rumple with a funny expression on your face. No, I wasn't. My words are clipped, but my voice is cold. Anise looks at me sadly, but I do not care. What I do is none of her business. I think the girls are jealous of you, too. What? I glance around the tavern and notice that there are girls glowering at me. I am not unaccustomed to these glares, since people have always looked at me this way. During the times I left the palace, people gave me the same looks, but this feels different somehow. Why would they be jealous? Because you're Rumple's partner. I am not his partner. You're not? He's been telling everyone that you are. I never agreed to being partners with him. I felt your longing gaze upon my back, and I have arrived, my princess. Rumple suddenly appears before the two of us, smiling brightly. I suddenly have the strong urge to slap the smile right off his face. We are not partners. But Princess, you asked for my advice. Advice that I gave to you, because I care. No one else cares as much about you as I. And so I proclaimed us both partners, because we are a match made in heaven. Ooh. You are so overwhelmed with gratitude that you are at a loss for words. If I could throw something at you, I would. I think the TV trope for this would be slap, slap, kiss, something like that. A punch packed with as much strength as your love. I can only groan in response. Oh my. Hello everyone, it sounds like you're having fun. How is this fun? Rumple is never fun. All he ever does is spout nonsense. Ugh. He doesn't mean any harm, Princess. He's just filled to the brim with so many compliments he needs to get them off his chest. Well, he can go direct them at one of his many other adoring fans. I shift my gaze to Rumple and furrow my eyebrows at him. Or do you only direct them at me because you enjoy how much I ignore you? He does like how much I ignore him. He said that. I only wanted to help, Princess. That's what partners do, right? But we are not partners. Just try this partnership out, Princess. I promise it will be worth your while. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, Princess. You can always change partners. Lady Parfait, you've broken my heart. You are very good at healing your broken heart by now, Rumple. Yes! She's not gonna leave all the sass to Delora. Yes, queen! Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. I only needed to speak with Anise to make sure that she doesn't need any help with a particular list. A list? A list of herbs for me. Anise has been nice enough to gather herbs for me. Lady Parfait, is this about your body? What's wrong with your body? It's nothing to concern yourself with, Princess. My body is just a little frail because of the burden on it. That's right. Parfait mentioned having to bear the crystallum lucis. A thought occurs to me as I look at her more closely. Wait, couldn't you use magic to heal yourself? Parfait shakes her head and sighs. I don't have the ability to heal. None of us do, except for one particular witch who calls herself the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor? Is something wrong? Rumple knows who that is. Rumple shakes his head and gives her a wistful smile. That name just sounds familiar. It's likely you heard about her from someone else before. Humans do know of her existence after all. Rumple, it's from her past. It's from his past. A witch? She's not a fairy. For some reason I had thought fairies would be more likely to heal people, not witches. She is indeed a witch. That is what they say. Though I've never met her myself. She is the only one who can heal illnesses with magic. She doesn't associate with other witches, though, and keeps to herself. Nobody has known where to find her for a very long time. Suffice it to say, we could never seek out help from her, even if we wanted to. Parfait shakes her head. No, unfortunately not. Rumple looks grim, but Parfait quickly dissipates the gloomy atmosphere with a clap of her hands. If Delora was here, she would say, "All right, story time is over." That was all very interesting. Interesting, but it does not really help anyone. Your body is the way that it is because of the Great War, then. Like I told you before, the Great War has made my body a lot weaker. This is something that cannot be healed, and I don't have an heir, so... Parfait looks about ready to say something, but goes silent. She has a sad look on her face, and I don't understand why. Anise immediately speaks up. I think I'll be okay, Lady Parfait. I was actually gonna go on an errand run in a few minutes. Do you need any help? I would be more than happy to escort a lovely lady like yourself around town. Anise pulls a list from a bag nearby and holds it out. There are only a few items on the list as far as I can see. Don't worry about it, Rumple. It's not that much at all. Rumple stares at the list. His expression suddenly smooths into something more serious. May I have that? Anise hands him the list, and slowly he takes a pen out from his pocket. I stare as he looks over the list quietly, then scribbles some things down at the bottom. Afterwards, he hands it over to Anise. I've added some things that might be helpful. The herbs on the list are for joint pains, and you might want something a little more general. How does he know all that? Everyone is staring at Rumple with wide eyes. Even Parfait looks impressed. You've used herbs before, Rumple? Maybe. I don't remember. But for some reason, names came to the top of my head as I was looking at that list. Thank you. Thank you. It is always my pleasure to help a lovely lady. Now, Anise, please let me accompany you to town. I would love to help with whatever I can, and more names might come to me. That sounds nice. Thank you, Rumple. Rumple turns to me, a mischievous smile on his face. Whenever he looks at me like that, I know he is going to suggest something ridiculous. Princess Apryl should accompany us for the experience. I do not need experience. How are you going to shower people with compliments if you know nothing about them? Being out in town will be good for you. Rumple has a point. The more you expand your world, the more willing you are to learn more about people. I do not need to be lectured. Oh, Princess, it wasn't meant to be a lecture. I'm just letting you know that experience is invaluable. Come on, Princess. Let us escort the lovely Anise around town. What about your work? Rumple puts a finger to my lips and grins. No one seems to have thought of that. So it will be our little secret. Oh! Ah! I slap his hand away, but he just grins at me jovially. How did I get dragged into this? Please, don't stay out too long. We won't. Oh my goodness. I made my way into town with Rumple and Anise. The majority of the conversations we have are one-sided, with Rumple giving us both the usual compliments. He never seems to tire of it. Rumple helps Anise pick certain herbs and a few other medications, and accepts all of the compliments she gives him with a triumphant smile. I know Anise knows about herbs because she's helped me before, but how does Rumple know so much about them? This must be a part of the past that he doesn't remember. Is he the witch doctor? Anise enters a store by herself at one point, leaving me alone with Rumple. I'm a mysterious man, aren't I? I turn to look at him and notice the easy smile adorning his face. A man with amnesia is full of secrets, after all. I bet you're even more curious about me. Women always love mysterious men. I do not particularly care. But Princess, if my curse is my amnesia, then shouldn't you care somehow? As partners, we're going to help each other out, right? I do not see how I can help you with your amnesia. Maybe this spell... maybe this is a spell that is only broken by true love's kiss. Shall we see? No. Too soon. He leans toward me with a playful smile on his face. I'm accustomed to this behavior by now, so this does not faze me, and I merely sigh at his nonsense. You already said yourself that you need to gather entries from some kind of journal? Princess, you're no fun. A little kiss wouldn't hurt anyone. I would die before I kiss you. Somehow I don't think she's telling the truth there, but we won't tell Rumple that. Princess, that's so sad. He says that, but he's still smiling. Why is he so unfazed by everything I say to him? You only ever have terrible suggestions. It was a mistake to trust you might have some good advice. But I have great ideas. You haven't helped with my curse at all. I have been trying, though. You haven't even told me how to get a good deed. I told you before, Princess. Compliments make a person happy, and making a person happy is a good deed. So you flirting with women and using shallow compliments on them is a good deed? On the surface, the compliments may seem shallow, but if you swim a little deeper, complimenting people cannot be a good deed. But making them happy is. All you have to do is listen to people, sympathize with them, maybe get to know them, and you can make them happy by doing even small things for them. Women enjoy the compliments, Princess. Besides, how could I see such beauties and not compliment them? It would be a disservice. You give compliments to people you do not even care about. Yeah, you're too fast and loose with those compliments, man. You are a compliment slut. Princess. Rumple's voice trails off as he stares past me. His smile falters for a few moments, and a look of confusion ripples his features. I turn to follow his gaze and see a small boy staring at us. He is shyly hiding behind some kind of notebook. Rumple. Ooh. There's that seriousness again. It was the same thing that happened when he added something to the list for parfait. Someone else from his past? Then suddenly, the expression changes into Rumple's usual bright smile. Hello there. Would you like to come and speak with us, young sir? Oh. You don't remember me, sir? Oh, do I know you? I used to come to your clinic. You saved me before. The boy draws closer to us, still hiding shyly behind his notebook. I'm sorry, little sir. I'm afraid that my memories are a bit scrambled right now. I can't even remember my own name. Really? Where is Anise? Why is she taking so long? The last thing I want to hear is a conversation between Rumple and some child. Is he going to shower this boy with compliments too? It's a shame I can't remember a boy as bright as yourself. And there it is. I'm not that bright, sir. Not as bright as you, but I want to be. He holds up his notebook. which has a small name scribbled in the corner. The words, "My dreams," are written on the front cover in cursive letters. What's this? I want to be just like you when I grow up, so I started a book of dreams, just like my mom told me to. She said I could become a doctor too, so long as I tried my best. A doctor? You forgot that you were a doctor, sir? Ugh. Rumple, a doctor? The boy continues to hold out the book, and finally, Rumple takes it and flips it open to the front page. Rumple is holding the book so close to his face that I cannot see it. I rise to the tips of my toes and attempt to look over his shoulder. At first, Rumple does not notice me as he stares at the page. Then, belatedly, he realizes I am there and lowers the book so that I can read too. I lean so close to him, our shoulders brush. My eyes scan over the page quickly. The handwriting is crude, barely readable actually, but I can still make out the gist of it. Rumple slowly reads the words aloud. When I'm older, I want to be exactly like the kind of doctor that saved me when I had no one else to go to. The boy's face flushes as Rumple reads his words aloud before his curious gaze lands on me. I don't remember you. I look at the boy, irritated. Are you the doctor's wife? Rumple suddenly looks up, his eyes wide. He looks down at the boy, then at me, his face suddenly solemn. I am surprised by the words that leave his mouth next. Yes, she is. He takes my hand in his and looks down at me, an almost sad look upon his face. What is wrong with him? I'm just gonna pull my hand away. I'm not sure what's going on with him. He has such a strange look on his face. Slowly, I try to pull my hand away, but Rumple holds tightly to it. The sadness in his eyes becomes intense anxiety, and I see something like fear dancing in his eyes. You really think it was my fault? What? Sir? Rumple squeezes my hand a little too tightly. He looks at me desperately. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me go. I finally managed to pry my hand free. Rumple looks at me for a few moments, almost bewildered, and then his eyes suddenly widen. He looks back at the journal, then at me. Oh, I think I blanked out. I'm sorry, Princess. All at once, the sheepish smile breaks into something cheerful again. He is still smiling at me, even though I was so curt with him. Rumple is so confusing. The boy looks bewildered. Don't worry about that, little sir. The one here is a feisty thing. I deserved whatever she just did. So she's not your wife, sir? Rumple looks a little surprised. Then he laughs. Unfortunately, no. The beautiful lady here is not my wife. Rumple absently rubs at the back of his neck as he looks up at the sky. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but it seems like I recovered something very important today, or the beginnings of something important. Something important? Is he talking about a memory? He hands the book back to the boy, then he leans down and sets a hand on the boy's head. A bell chimes behind us as a niece comes out of the store, carrying a bag filled with what I assume are herbs and medicines. The boy once again cowers behind his book. Oh, who's this? The wonderful little sir that helped me regain a very important memory. An important memory? Rumple stands, looking triumphant. I, my good lady, am a doctor. Oh, really? Truly. Rumple turns back to the boy, who he asks a few more questions. He even asked the boy his name, but much to my surprise, the boy shakes his head. I'm sure you told me your name, but I don't remember it. It's like my curse. No one remembers me being a princess, and no one remembers Rumple's true name. Rumple thanks the boy again many times over, and even buys him a few pieces of candy. The boy's eyes are practically glowing with excitement, and he does not stop smiling. After we see him off and start to head back to the tavern, I begin to contemplate. I am curious about something. Oh? You said that you needed to fill your journal with memories in order to get them back. But the journal you just read wasn't yours. It appears not. It seems that the 3 entries that trigger my memories just need to be written by people I know. Reading them triggers a memory, and then the full entry probably appears in my journal. I ought to check it when I get back. I see. But even without looking into the entry, a memory came to your mind? Rumple gives a short, distracted nod. It's not complete, so I'm hoping that something really has appeared in my journal. It feels like it must, considering I remembered something so important. Do you remember anything else at all? The young man that we just met. I believe that he used to come watch me work before. I knew him. He used to look up to me. He was a sweet child. The memory is foggy, but yes, I believe something did happen to him. He became ill. The details of how I saved him must be in the journal. Even though this does not pertain to my curse, I am curious what his journal might say. I can't remember fully, but the memory feels sad somehow. He turns to me, eyebrows knit together. It is strange to see him with such a serious expression on his face. I really am sorry about earlier, Princess. I think I was on the verge of a memory, but then it got tangled up in my head. I am surprised by his sudden change in topic. I shake my head slowly. He is quiet for a few moments before suddenly his smile comes back and he laughs jovially, telling us that there is no point in worrying. At the town's outskirts, I turn, feeling eyes on my back, but no one is there. I think I may have made the wrong choice. I think I was supposed to slap him there. But I didn't, so... here we are. We give Parfait the medicines we purchased in town as soon as we arrive back at the Marchen. Then Rumple proudly announces that he is a doctor to anyone that will listen to him. Everyone seems happy for him, save for the Marchen patrons that find Rumple annoying, who are mostly men. Afterwards, Rumple asks Anise if he might be able to take over the medications for Parfait, if only because Anise is busier than him. Rumple hasn't been at the Marchen long, and yet he's already found something to help break his curse. And then there's me. I do not think anyone will be able to help me. At the end of the night, when I finally have time to myself, I return to my room to rest. The next day, I am sent right back to my chores. Rumple is nowhere to be seen in the morning, and Anise says it is because he is tending to Parfait. He appears later in the afternoon, still full of smiles and silly flattery as he goes back to serving. How does he have so much energy? At the end of the day, I plop down on the settee to rest. My legs are weak from all the walking I've done today, and I can still feel the tiredness in my arms from all the sweeping with Mr. Broom. Princess? I notice Anise standing beneath the doorway, smiling at me uncertainly. Thank you for your work today. Why is she thanking me for work I obviously do not want to do? It is not as if I asked to do any of this. But you still help. Anise nervously shifts on her feet. So, I just wanted to say thanks. When I do not make any effort to continue speaking with her, Anise gives a nervous little nod before heading back towards her room. Not long after her departure, I hear an exuberant and familiar voice. I should count my lucky stars, for they are giving me a rare opportunity to meet with my lovely princess this late at night. I should have gone to my room. Rumple stops before me, winking. The moonlight on your face makes your beautiful eyes sparkle like the most precious gold, princess. I am not in the mood for your flattery. But princess, flattery is just a compilation of compliments. Everyone loves compliments. I do not care for your compliments. Or Lady Anisa's thanks either. He heard that? You should learn to let people spoil you. I stare at him. This is the last thing I ever expected anyone to say. My whole life I've been called spoiled and rotten, the Ice Princess. Even Delora and Parfait want me to do these good deeds because they think I am incapable of goodness. I clench my fists and continue to stare at him, not understanding the swell of emotion inside me. Why is he being so nice to me? Your first lesson is learning how to let people spoil you. He draws back his hand, reaches into his pocket, and presents me with a small yellow bag. What's this? For you, my sweet princess. You know, I might be making the wrong choice again, but I feel like the beginning was setting me up to know that he likes to have to work for it. I don't think I should accept it. Also, I think I should have been harsher with him in my last choice, so I'm gonna try it, and we're just gonna see what happens. Ah! I cannot accept your gift. But, Princess, my advice. You have no reason to spoil me. Princess, this is what I've been trying to explain to you all day. You don't need a reason to spoil someone. It doesn't always have to be about paying someone back. Rumple smiles, a little sheepishly. Then he places the bag in my hand and curls my fingers around it. You deserve nice things, Princess. You barely know me, and yet you still say that? Barely know you? We may not have known each other personally, but that doesn't mean I don't know enough about you. Oh, look at that! Apryl made a right choice. Ayo! I am giving you this gift because I truly want you to have it. Besides, this is both a thank you and an apology gift. A thank you for accepting me as your partner and an apology for my behavior yesterday. I don't remember what I did, but both you and the boy seemed frightened. Aw, look at us. I look down at the little bag. I open it up, and inside is a little white chocolate piece fashioned into the shape of a flower. A lily. It is not much, but you absolutely must accept it, Princess. Otherwise, my guilt would drown me in the dark shadows of sorrow for the rest of time. Lilies aren't my favorite flower. Aww. They say you give a white lily to someone you enjoy spending time with. Oh, and in floral language, they also stand for purity and majesty. He winks at me. Perfect for you, Princess. Why? Why what? Why would you give this to me? No matter what you say about doing nice things for people, I don't see how that applies to me. And why would you thank me for being your partner? I did not even want to be your partner at first. But you do now. Ugh. I am unable to withhold my surprise. Rumple raises an eyebrow, then sighs. Princess, you don't trust compliments, do you? Mother always told me that people were two-sided, that they'd say anything to make you believe they were your friend. No. Never fear, my sweet princess. I'll make sure I compliment you until you learn to accept them. But no buts. I derive my happiness from making ladies like yourself happy. The compliments may seem strange to you, but don't worry. You'll see it in time. See what? The connections between people. You assume I'm just a flirt, but I get to know an awful lot about people. It's the reason I guess so much about you. What could Rumple possibly know about me? So, what do you think? Are you more attracted to me now because of my mysterious aura, or my doctorly sophistication? He leans in closer to me, his eyes sparkling. I could be your own personal doctor. I will slap you if you touch me again. Rumple pulls back and raises both of his hands in surrender, but the smile does not leave his face. You really are hopeless, aren't you? Do you think so? I thought the events from today might have proven otherwise. Oh, speaking of which, I read over my journal earlier. His expression becomes oddly solemn. Shall I enlighten you? Why would you tell me all of this? Oh, you're not interested. I thought you might be, since I was your partner. If I don't listen, you'll still tell me regardless, so feel free to share. Rumple sighs as he flips the journal open. Unfortunately, it was not much. The memory began coming together again as I was reading, but a lot of it still doesn't make any sense. I glance down at the entry as he has stopped at. Look at the bottom of the page, Princess. I follow his gaze to the bottom of the page and pause, noticing a conspicuous gap. There's no signature, and I always sign the end of every entry I write. I wonder if that might be the final piece of the puzzle. The final piece of your curse? If my name refuses to show up in the book, it may very well be the final memory I need to regain. You believe that the signature will be what gives you your true name, then? I have a feeling that might be the case. It was the first thing I noticed when the entry appeared. That would explain why the boy in town didn't know my name either. And there's something else. Something else that's missing? The journal entry is cryptic at best. Vague, almost like an incomplete puzzle piece. I stare at him, not understanding. Slowly, Rumple begins to explain. It says here that the boy's family rushed him to my clinic. He had a terminal illness that I could not cure. He was at death's door and I couldn't save him. But he's alive, isn't he? He even said you saved him. Yes, there is a resolution in the journal, but it is not very helpful. I glance down at the journal entry as Rumple continues to speak. I refused to give up. I knew that there had to be a way to save the boy. I never gave up on my patients. In the journal entry, I described someone who came to help me save the boy. He lifts the book and points to the words, reading them aloud. It's the witch doctor. I met her for the first time tonight. She told me she had some way to help the boy, so we struck a deal. I hope I do not come to regret this. He snaps the journal shut, startling me. He sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. That's it. Someone helped me somehow and I made a deal. I'm assuming this is related to my curse, but I can't say how. Why did you write so vaguely? I wish I could ask my past self that same question. So in the end, you're still not sure why you were cursed. Rumple pauses, then shakes his head. I believe it started here. Not the curse, but the events that led to it. There's a reason this is the first memory to be triggered. It's important. For a few moments, the two of us are quiet. Rumple's curse is a mystery, but not because he is hiding it like Karma is, but because he does not understand it himself. After a few moments, Rumple begins to laugh, breaking the silence. I look at him, startled. What's so funny? Oh, it's not funny, it's just... This is all very mysterious, isn't it? And my mysterious past makes me more alluring, doesn't it? Only Rumple could take such a serious moment and change it into this. Well, what do you think, Princess? Are you drawn into the mystery of it? Oh my gosh. I have no choice. You'd tell me even if I didn't want to know. Oh, but you do. I can see the curiosity in your lovely golden eyes. And I could see it earlier today, too. Thank you for accompanying me to town. I believe that I only met the boy because you were there to guide my way. We were looking for medical supplies. That boy appeared through mere coincidence. No, it was more than coincidence. It was destiny. Fine, whatever you say. Listening to him is exhausting. It makes me realize how tired I am. And all these revelations are making my head spin. I am going to bed now. I'm too tired for this. It has indeed been a busy day. We will continue this enlightening discussion some other time. Perhaps. I turn to walk away with the little chocolates in my hand. As I walk back toward the darkness of the hallway, Rumple's soft voice echoes behind me. Sweet dreams, my princess. Aww. Oh! Chapter 4! Well, that seems like a good place to stop for today. thanks so much for joining me on this lovely adventure we're going on. Feel free to follow me on all the relevant social media that I'm linking down in the description. And be sure to come back next time. I'm so excited to figure out what all Rumple is hiding. It's so interesting seeing the layers start to pull back. Anyway, bye everybody!